What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today I'm going to be going over my complete NFL season preview. We're going to go over the awards, my power ranking, how I think the season's going to go, then the playoffs. Then ultimately at the end, I'm going to make my Super Bowl prediction. But first things first, be sure to stay in your word, because the Bible verse of the day is 2 Timothy 1:7, which says, "For God did not give us a spirit of timidity, but a spirit of power, of love, and self-discipline." So no matter what you're facing in your life, just know that God created you to be strong, powerful, and loving, and not to be scared. He created you to be courageous. So let's get straight into the video. Be sure to subscribe. We're so close to 300 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Okay, first things first, in today's video, we're going to be going over the awards, starting off with Coach of the Year, who I'm going to have as Jim Harbaugh. This is kind of tough because Jim Harbaugh hasn't coached in a while in the NFL, as he was in college at Michigan for a while. But we saw what he did in Michigan. Obviously, it was fantastic. But there is a big difference between NFL and college coaching. But he has coached in the NFL before. I trust he will be a great coach. I'm going to put him as my Coach of the Year. Okay, the next award I'm going to go over is the Defensive Rookie of the Year. And for this, I am going to pick Byron Murphy II. Byron Murphy was the 16th overall pick this year, and he went to the Seattle Seahawks. And, I mean, obviously this is kind of hard to predict. Like, if we're going over different awards of, like, MVP and stuff like that, we've already seen them play in the NFL, so it's a lot easier to predict who's going to win. But when you haven't seen players play in the NFL, it's kind of hard to predict if they'll be a bust or if they'll be a success. And I think Byron Murphy, though, has so much potential. He did incredible at Texas. I think that will translate over to the NFL on the Seahawks. Offensive Rookie of the Year, now I have Marvin Harrison Jr. Well, we know how good this guy could be, especially after his college career was fantastic. Without a doubt, the best wide receiver in this year's draft. I don't think that's even controversial. And now, going into the NFL, I don't see him becoming a bust. I think he's going to be a great player. I think his college talent is going to translate over to the NFL. Next up, Defensive Player of the Year. I'm going to give this one over to my boy TJ Watt. I'm a Steelers fan, so it's a little controversial, but he's won it twice. He's been robbed a couple of times as well. So I think, without a doubt, he's one of the, if not the best pass rushers in the NFL. He tied the record with 21.5 sacks a couple of years ago. He is a fantastic player, and I could definitely see him winning Defensive Player of the Year. Okay, next up we have Offensive Player of the Year, and for this one, I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey. Without a doubt, I would say, in my opinion, the best running back in the NFL. I mean, year after year, he's been fantastic. On the 49ers, he's been great so far, and on the Panthers, he was incredible as well. I think he's going to have another great season, one of the most powerful backs in the league. I would expect a great season out of Christian McCaffrey and maybe an Offensive Player of the Year. And now we have the biggest award of them all. We have the MVP, and for my MVP, I'm going to give it to Joe Burrow. I considered other people like Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, but I don't think, I mean, they're incredible players and probably two of the best in the NFL. Lamar won it last year. I don't see it happening again for him. And then Mahomes, probably the best quarterback of our generation, if we're being for real. But I think CJ Stroud's a little too young to win it. And Patrick Mahomes and Lamar, I feel like it's time for a different quarterback to win it. And I think that next guy could be Joe Burrow. All right, so now we're going over my power rankings. Actually, this isn't my power rankings. This is NFL.com's. But I'm going to be showing you what I agree with, what I don't agree with. Starting off with, at 32, the Panthers. Honestly, I would probably put the Patriots here, but Panthers, not a bad pick. You could definitely interchange the Panthers and Patriots, and I'm guessing the next one's going to be the Patriots, and it is. Okay. Drake May is going to be their new quarterback, and, I mean, I don't see it going well for him. Not that he's a bad player, but I think that he's on the Patriots, and they've shown that they're not very good with young quarterbacks, as we saw with Mac Jones and a couple other great quarterbacks. But Patriots at 31, I think that's decent. You could move him to 32, though. Oh, and by the way, yes, I did lose my voice a little bit. I'm a little bit sick, but I'm not too bad, so I think I'm okay. All right, next up we have the Denver Broncos. Honestly, I don't like this very much. I think they should be a little higher. I have faith in Bo Nix. I have faith in him, and they have a decent team overall. Well, actually, They have some really good players on their team, but they don't have good depth, and they only have like a couple good players. And then besides, you take out those couple of players, there's not that much talent on their team, honestly. 30 for the Broncos, though. I would put them a little higher, but I don't hate this. Okay, 29, we have the Giants. Low key, I would put them a bit higher, to be completely honest, because obviously, I mean, they had a bad season last year. And they're gonna keep going with Daniel Jones, which isn't a good idea in my opinion. But I think they will be better than last year because they got the star receiver Malik Neighbors, in my opinion, the second best in the NFL draft. Maybe you could put Xavier Worthy there, but I would say Malik Neighbors is the second best in this year's draft class. 29 for the Giants, I would say it's a little low, but it's not the worst pick. Okay, 28 we have the Tennessee Titans. Titans at 28. I mean, I think this is a solid spot for them, to be honest. They're not great. They're definitely not average. They're definitely worse than average. Below average, I should say. Will Levis as their quarterback this year. I think he's going to get better than last year, but I still don't think he's going to be great. They have a new coach though, Brian Callahan. We'll see how that turns out for them. But I mean, their division is weak, so that could help them a little bit, but I just don't think they have a great team overall, and they're going to have to keep waiting and try to get better players in order to be anywhere near the conversation of top 20. Okay, here's a spot I don't like. Cardinals at 27. I think they could be the biggest comeback team this year, or most improved team, I guess would be the name of it, because Kyler Murray's coming back from his injury. We know he's decent at throwing, but he's also a great scrambler, and then also, you got Marvin Harrison this year, who's the best receiver in this draft. I think they're going to be much better than last year. Like it says here, I don't think they're a top 10 group yet, but I think they're going to be much better, maybe top 20. And I'm just saying, don't sleep on the Cardinals. Their division is tough, but I think their team's just getting better, and I could maybe see them sneaking into the top 20. Okay, here we have the Washington Commanders at 26. This isn't the worst spot I've seen. I think this is a good spot for them, actually. Maybe a little lower would be better for them. I mean, they did get Jaden Daniels this year, and I don't know how good he's going to be. He's a great scrambler. He's decent at throwing. I think he's going to be an upgrade from their previous quarterbacks. But, man, I don't know. This team, it's just not a great team overall. They have some bright spots, but overall, it's not the best team. Obviously, like Terry McLaurin and now Jaden Daniels, their team's starting to get better, but I still don't think it's at where it should be. Okay, Raiders at 25. I think this is a good spot for them. The only thing about, the worst thing about the Raiders is their quarterback room. Because either way, they're going to have a mid quarterback playing. If Aiden O'Connell starts, which I think he is, he's not I think he was like a third or fourth round pick. He's not a great quarterback. And if he doesn't do well, Gardner Minshew's going in, and he's a mediocre quarterback as well. So I think that they just need a solid quarterback to help them out, and then this team could get a lot better. I think their potential is there, but I don't think they're quite there yet. Obviously, they have Devontae Adams on the team, which is huge for them. A true wide receiver one. Then they got Max Crosby on defense, which is big for them. But besides them, you could maybe say they have a couple other good players on the team, but not a great overall team. They just have some good players, and then everyone else is just mediocre. So I think 25 is a good spot for them. Maybe I would have put them even lower. Okay, I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to kind of fly through these next ones. Saints at 24, not a bad spot. Derek Carr's he's a decent quarterback. They've got some bright spots on the team. 24 is not a terrible spot for them. Next up, 23, we have the Seahawks. I would have put them a little bit higher. Geno Smith's a great player. They got some other great defensive players in the draft. Their offense is solid. 23, I would put them a little bit higher. Next up, we have the Falcons at 22. This isn't a horrible spot, but, Falcons 22. I would put them a little lower, to be completely honest. Kirk Cousins on the team now is that's a great positive spot for them, but I still don't think they're at where they should be. They should be a little lower, in my opinion. Colts at 21. I think I like this spot. I think some people are sleeping on them a little bit. I think this is a good spot though. Anthony Richardson, I think he will have a better season. Obviously, a huge injury at the beginning of last season, which really hurt his chances to be a great player. But he's getting another chance this year. And obviously got Jonathan Taylor on the team, and now with a great first round pick, the first defensive player taken off the board in this year's draft, Liatu Latu. So now we are in the top 20, and we got Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield as the quarterback. He is nothing insane, but he can probably be a good game manager in my opinion. So I don't think 20 is a bad spot for them. I think they've got some really bright spots, but then also some very bad positions on their team. 20, not a horrible spot though. Vikings. I don't think people should sleep on the Vikings too much. If you look around their team, they've got a decent team all the way around. I think Sam Darnold's a great player. He obviously has a lot of experience, and then if he doesn't work out very well, we got JJ McCarthy, who they just picked up this year. Not a bad team overall, in my opinion. 19, not a bad spot. Chicago Bears at 18. In my opinion, it's too high. I don't think Caleb Williams is a bad player. I think he's a great player actually, but I just think the hype's a little too much, and they should maybe bring them down a little bit. This is not where I would have put them. I would have put them maybe 25, somewhere in that area. I guess I respect it, though. Next up, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars at 17. Low-key, a lot of people would say this is really high, but they're starting to get a good team all the way around. It's not a bad spot, in my opinion. Ignore the ads. Los Angeles Chargers at 16. All right, I think this is a little high, in my opinion. Justin Herbert is the best spot on their team, in my opinion, but it just feels like they're kind of losing some great players every single year. But receiving wise, they're great. As you can see right here, Josh Palmer, DJ Chark, and Ladd McConkey all on the team. So their receiving core is decent, but overall, I don't think their team's great. Now in the top 15, Aaron Rodgers is coming back for the Jets, so that could be huge for them. As you can see, they're up 6 spots, so their team's getting better for sure. They've got a decent team overall, and it's getting better every season, so I like them at 15. 14 Rams. How do I feel about this? I think maybe a little high. Not too high, though. I think I would have put them a couple spots down, but this isn't a terrible spot for them. Like, they're up 3 spots. I maybe would have left them around the 17 area, in my opinion. But Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, those are the stars on their team pretty much. Puka's just getting better, but he has a knee injury, but it doesn't appear to be too serious, as they say right here. I think when this team works together, they can be great, but they're always like a hit or miss team, in my opinion. But I mean, obviously they lost Aaron Donald, which hurts them quite a bit. I think they'll be all right. Now, NFL.com, I'm shocked. They put my Steelers at 13. Thank you guys so much, which means we're in the playoffs, bro. We're in the playoffs. Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, obviously the two big acquisitions, I guess you would call it, so far this year. Mike Tomlin, obviously one of the best coaches in the NFL, in my opinion. Maybe you don't agree with that. Obviously, I'm a little biased, but I think we're getting better for sure. Every year we pick up some good young talent to help us out. Obviously, Russell and Justin Fields, we're going to see how that one turns out. Hopefully, it works out all right. But 13, I think that's a really generous spot from them, and I appreciate it. And now we have the Browns at number 12. Browns at 12 is not a terrible spot for them. I think they should be below the Steelers, though. I know, crazy biased, but they should be below us. They're just not as good as us. They're dealing with injuries. They have Deshaun Watson at QB. Come on, bro. Jerry Jeudy will be helpful, but I mean, bro, they're just not a great team overall, in my opinion. Obviously, still Myles Garrett, but I don't think they're great. 11 for the Dolphins. This guy's tripping. Oh my goodness. I would put them. Not putting Dolphins top 10 is kind of crazy, in my opinion. They're the fastest team in the NFL speed-wise. But not only that, Tua can throw fine. Tyreek Hill is on the team, for goodness sakes alive. I know he's getting older, but he's still an incredible player. I mean, it's his opinion. I gotta respect it, but I would put them top 5 for real. Dallas Cowboys top 10, not bad. I think they should be a little lower. We know they can't make it to the playoffs, and if they do, they never do good in the playoffs. So, and that's just what it comes down to. You can't win a Super Bowl if you can't win a playoff game. And this, he says, last year he picked the Cowboys to make the Super Bowl. That was a dumb decision, bro. We know they always choke away their season, so I would not have put them this high. Bengals at 9. I am okay with this. I don't think it's a terrible spot. 9th. I mean, I think I would have put them a little higher, to be honest with you. They've got a great receiving core, well, I guess they have one great quarterback, which is all you need, to be honest with you, as long as he stays healthy. I think that's a decent spot for them, to be honest. I'm not going to lie, my throat is killing me right now. My little sister got me sick, bro. It does not feel nice, but it is what it is. The game must go on, you know what I'm saying? Green Bay Packers at 8. I think people are sleeping on the Packers a lot, to be completely honest with you. Like, when you make a top 10 list of NFL teams, Green Bay Packers at least isn't the first one that comes to my mind, or even close. I probably wouldn't put them in my top 10. Maybe I would put them like 9 or 10. I think I like them at 8, though. I think this is, I think Jordan Love's getting better every season. When Jordan Love came into the league, everyone was doubting him and saying he wouldn't be great, but each year he's been getting better, and he was a great replacement for Aaron Rodgers. Top 7 now, we have Buffalo Bills at 7. Not a bad spot, I think. Josh Allen, yeah, obviously their star on their team. This isn't a bad spot for them. I like them. They have a great team overall, but they lost Stephon Diggs, which hurts really bad. Houston Texans 6. Great spot for them. I probably would have put them top 5, but I don't hate 6. Their team's just getting better. Their team's getting better, like, really fast. Obviously CJ Stroud had an incredible rookie season. I think he's going to have an even better second season. And now the big acquisition this year was Stephon Diggs, and they got a couple other great players as well. Now we're in the top 5, though, and it's going to be the Eagles at number 5. I don't hate this spot for them. I think I would have put them a little lower. I think each year their team's getting a little bit worse, but I do still think they're a great team. Overall, they've got a very good team. Obviously, Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, and then the receiving core is great. Their defense is starting to get a little weaker. I still think it's good, but I do think it's getting a little bit weaker. So 5, I don't hate that spot, to be completely honest with you. Lions at 4, I like this. I probably would have put them 3, but 4, 3, 4, it's all the same, isn't it? Lions at 4, not a bad spot, to be honest. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell. I'm just reading these names they put down here. Jared Goff, Taylor Decker. They've got a good team. They've got a great team, to be honest with you. And it's just getting better. They're getting, every single season they get a new star player on the team, which I think that's what you need. That's what you do to build a great team. I could see them winning a Super Bowl in a couple of years. And maybe this year. You never know. I don't hate if you picked the Lions to win the Super Bowl this year, I would not judge you. I think it's a solid pick. Ravens at 3, yeah, a little high in my opinion. I mean, obviously, I'm a Steelers fan, so I'm the biggest Ravens hater. So, go ahead and flame me in the comments saying I'm biased or whatever. But I think they've got a solid team. Obviously, Derrick Henry now is a big addition to their team, but he is getting older. We have to remember that. He is getting kind of older. Obviously, Lamar leads the team, and he did have an illness, like they say here, but he says he's debugged from it now. Okay. They've got a good team all the way around. 3, not a terrible spot, though. San Francisco 49ers at number 2. All right. Loki, who haven't we got yet? Who's going to be at number 1? Oh, Chiefs, that's right. Brandon Ayuk, though. That's one of the things I wanted to talk about. Brandon Ayuk, though, is going to leave the Niners most likely. I think they said it's either going to be the Steelers or he stays with the Niners. I think he said he wants to leave the Niners, so that means he's going to go to the Steelers, which, bro, that's awesome. That's going to help our receiving core a lot. And I feel like if that does happen, that could shift these around quite a bit. Brandon Ayuk leaves, I might drop the Niners to 3 or 4, the Steelers up to maybe top 10, maybe 11 or 10 when they were at 13. Because that would help the Steelers a lot, and it would probably hurt the Niners quite a bit. I mean, they still got a great team, don't get me wrong, but Ayuk was a big part of their team, to be honest with you. Now, number 1, it's going to be the Chiefs, obviously. They got Xavier Worthy now, which is going to be great for them, the fastest player at the combine of all time, not just this year, of all time. So he's going to be a great player. But there you have it. There are the power rankings. I hope you guys enjoyed. Now let's go to the outro. So there you have it, guys. That is my NFL season predictions. Oh, wait. Or is it? If you may have forgotten, at the beginning of the video, I said I will be predicting the Super Bowl winner, and I have not done that yet in the video. So, my Super Bowl winning team, you can hate me all you want for this. I don't care. It's the Houston Texans. Their team's great all the way around. They got great chemistry. CJ Stroud, Stephon Diggs. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you. We're at like 295 subscribers right now. I know that might not seem like much, but I really appreciate every one of you who subscribe. We're almost at 300. That's going to be a big milestone for us. I low-key almost quit YouTube earlier this summer, but I decided that God's not done with this channel yet, so I'm going to keep going with it. But remember, everyone, keep God first in your life. If you don't have God in your life, there's always going to be an empty void in your heart, but be sure to subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Goodbye.